What's up, guys? Just going to do a quick video on how to remove your 2000 Subaru Impreza dash cluster, as well as changing out the rear lights that are in the background. So if you haven't seen any of my other videos, I have the glow shift gauges and an upgraded Pioneer head unit, which both of those can change the colors to anything I want. And right now they are both set to blue. So there's that one and that, and then the background is obviously the plain 2000 Impreza colors. And so what I'm going to do is change out these lights here on the top and replace them with some hopefully blue, the same blue as what we see down here, and see how it turns out. These are the original light bulbs. Part number is 2721 CEC Industries, and I got these as a replacement because I did have bulbs go out on this about a year ago. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start by removing these two bolts with a Phillips head, and once that's done I'll show you what happens when you get those loosened up. So as you can see, I have removed both of the screw-in bolts here. I'm going to place these somewhere where I can find them. And now I've lowered my steering wheel down to where I can kind of finagle this thing out of here. And without being too rough with it, should be able to just pry it off there and manage to slide it out. This is the part that always is tricky with doing it with one hand. But yeah, well, that was a little bit rougher than I thought. So now we're just left with the dash cluster in here by itself. Gonna go ahead and take, well, my key is out. So here we have it sitting, and you can see that there are 3 bolts. One here on the top, one here on the left, and then one there on the right. And we're gonna unscrew those, and then the dash cluster should pull out. And you have to be sure that when you pull it out, you don't yank it too hard because it is connected on the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that next. So as you can see, all 3 bolts have been removed. There's one there, which you can't really see, and one there, and one there. Again, they're the same bolts as the top, so if you get them mixed up, they're the same size and same thread pitch, so it'll be okay when you screw this back in. So I'll show you now. It should slide right out like that. And this is the tricky part, which I'll probably have to do this with one hand, is get it to come out and then disconnect it so I don't destroy my cluster. So while I try and figure this out again, because I've done this before to replace those lights, I don't want to do this and have you guys waiting around. Okay, so after messing around with it for a few minutes, I have the cluster out, and as you can see, there are 3 connectors on the back. And I have, well, it's been sitting like that, I didn't rearrange it, but I have the left connector there, the center connector there, and the right connector there. So when I go to put it back in, I can start with the left and finish with the right. And so this is the cluster here. And all I'm gonna do is look for the lights that I can replace and replace them with the blue ones. So let me figure out which ones they are, which it's going to be the fuel gauge, the hot cold temperature, speedometer, and then the RPMs. I'm not going to mess with any lights down below because obviously I need to know when they're on and that I need to do something, which it's never gotten to that point, but you know, just in case. So yeah, be right back. All right, so after a bit of messing around with this, finally got all of the ones that I wanted replaced. So as you can see here are the old LED lights that were in the back, except for one of them. Oh, there it is. And here are the replacement ones, which aren't much different, I can tell, but because it's got the kind of gold or brass plating on the outside. And so all you do is plug it into one of these connectors, and they slide in, and you can twist them out. And as you can see, got the new ones in there. So now I'm going to do a test to make sure these are all connected and ready to go. So here we go. As you can see, I have the cluster pushed back in there slightly, and I'm going to take my last connector and go ahead and plug it in. Of course, on camera it's not as easy because I'm trying to do two things at once. Okay, you should hear it click. There. Okay, so now this should be plugged in and working. So of course I've got the door open, make sure it's working completely. Okay, so it is working. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my accessory mode. Oops, must have hit the windshield as I was doing that. So there we go. So now we have everything. These are all still lit up like I wanted them to be, and when I turn my lights on, it should be that blue. So that side's blue. I must have done something with those connectors. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this again. Yeah, but it's got the blue that I wanted, so that's cool. I'm gonna unhook everything and try and do that again. So after messing around with it and messing around with the connectors, turns out the one for the fuel and the hot and cold gauge is a different style. So as you can see, when I pull this up, everything lights up that I wanted it to, except for the hot and cold. So as long as I order that right piece, then obviously I'll go ahead and get these connectors, or get the connector straight and figured out, and I'll have matching colors. So yeah, gonna go ahead and do that. Kind of unfortunate because I spent a little while trying to get this thing done, but yeah, go ahead and try it again in a couple days when I get that other piece, and we'll see what happens. All right, so a day passed. Ended up getting the bigger lights for the dash cluster. You only need one of these. As you can see, these are the bigger ones that cover the area where the fuel gauge and the temp gauge are. And they're a little bit bigger than the ones that take up a majority of the lights in the cluster itself. Again, I'll link these down in the description. And yeah, so I still have the dash cluster out, and when you look at it, it's going to be this bigger connection here, or the bigger light, and all you do is slide it out sideways or twist it, and it unpulls, and all you should be able to do is replace this top part. So I'm going to lay this here, open this up, pull one of these lights out, and see if I can just throw it in there like so. And this should work. If not, I'll be able to try it again and get it to work. So again, don't have to do too much with it. Just up and slide it until it stops. And then all you should have to do, which I don't have, is turn the keys and it should work. So let me go get the keys and then I'll finish out the video finally. All right, so I got the light in. Do the start or accessory mode. As you can see, a couple of the colors changed up top, and now we have a full display. So yeah, I know this video was kind of all over the place. I might have ran into some issues while I was recording, and I'm still getting used to this, trying to get these videos out and stuff like that. But please let me know what you guys think. Here's the rest of the interior. Now it's pretty much matching. I'm super excited to see what this looks like in the evenings. So yeah, If you have any questions, just put them down below and I'll get back to you. Thanks.